In the 22nd century, the world had changed so dramatically that humans and aliens from across the entire universe were now living together in harmony. They shared their advanced technologies with one another, and by using alien innovations, humanity had even created massive artificial planets capable of moving through space. However, a tragic mistake changed everything when, during a conflict among humans, an entire alien planet belonging to a peaceful species was accidentally destroyed. Now those aliens had arrived seeking justice, and the question remained whether they would receive fairness or wipe out the human planet in revenge. The story begins in the 2nd century era of interstellar cooperation, where humans and aliens had built a colossal space station together and lived side by side. Using alien technology, they had turned the station into an incredibly advanced structure that could travel anywhere in space. The scene then shifts to a strange alien planet inhabited by a unique species known as the Pearls, named so because their world contained enormous quantities of extremely valuable pearls. These aliens had a small creature that, when fed a pearl, could generate countless more pearls, allowing them to meet all their needs. However, before using any of the pearls themselves, they always offered the collected treasures to their deity, believing that their god had blessed them with life on this beautiful planet. The aliens lived happily on their peaceful world until one terrible day when dozens of massive spacecraft suddenly began crashing down from the sky. The falling ships devastated the entire planet, smashing into the alien settlements and destroying everything in their path. Within moments, the once beautiful world turned into a barren wasteland. A few survivors managed to escape into a giant spacecraft, but their queen was trapped outside as more vessels continued to fall. Soon an enormous explosion occurred, one so powerful that survival became impossible. Before dying, the alien queen released a powerful telepathic broadcast across the universe, sending out a desperate message for justice before she was consumed by the blast. The entire planet was completely annihilated. The story then shifts back to the giant space station where a young soldier named Valerian suddenly begins experiencing strange dreams. In these visions, he sees the alien planet being destroyed exactly as it happened. Unbeknownst to him, the Queen's telepathic message had reached his mind across the universe. Confused and disturbed, Valerian cannot understand why these visions are appearing to him. He works as a soldier alongside his partner Laura, and soon the two receive a mission from their headquarters. They depart in their spacecraft to investigate. During the journey, Valerian keeps analyzing the dreams, but still cannot figure out who the aliens are or why their memories are connected to him. After several hours of travel, they arrive on a seemingly barren planet, where their mission is to capture a small creature. The creature was extremely valuable in the black market because it could produce priceless pearls, and if someone misused it, they could create unlimited wealth. When Valerian and Laura land on the planet, they initially see nothing but empty wasteland with no sign of any marketplace. However, things are not always what they appear to be. The black market actually existed in a hidden dimension that could only be seen by wearing a special pair of glasses. Once Valerian and Laura put on the glasses, the invisible market suddenly appeared around them, filled with countless aliens and strange creatures conducting illegal trades. Among them was a fat alien merchant negotiating deals, and sitting across from him were the surviving aliens whose home planet had been destroyed. Only a small group of their species had survived, and they had come to retrieve the very creature that had once been stolen from their world. The surviving aliens offered the fat merchant a small pearl that was incredibly rare and powerful, demanding their tiny creature in exchange. As the deal was about to be completed, Valerian suddenly arrived, snatched the pearl from the alien's hand, and ran off. Instantly, a terrifying creature began chasing him, determined to kill him, but Valerian somehow managed to reach his spaceship just in time. The creature could not reach him, and was left behind on the planet as Valerian and Laura quickly escaped. Now they possessed both the priceless pearl and the mysterious little creature that could generate endless pearls from its body. Though neither of them knew this yet, Valerian began analyzing the pearl and discovered that it held an unbelievable amount of energy, enough to destroy an entire planet. While studying it further, he also learned that the aliens he had been seeing in his dreams had lived on a planet hundreds of years ago before it was destroyed when massive spacecraft rained down from the sky. That meant the event he had witnessed in his visions had actually happened long ago, and the telepathic message the alien queen had broadcast across the universe had finally reached Valerian centuries later. Curious to learn more about the pearl, he tried to continue his analysis, but the system suddenly denied him access. His permission had been restricted by his superiors at the giant space station. With no other option, Valerian and Laura headed back to the massive station where their headquarters were located. The station was home not only to humans, but also to thousands of alien species living together, many of whom helped maintain and repair the enormous structure. When Valerian and Laura arrived, they met their commander, the powerful leader of the soldiers, who controlled several advanced robots capable of carrying out any command. The commander assigned them a new mission. They needed to enter the mysterious red zone located at the very center of the space station. Recently, Dangerous radioactive elements had begun emerging from that area, posing a serious threat to the station. A team had already been sent to investigate, but none of them had returned, suggesting they had all been killed. Meanwhile, it was revealed that the commander had secretly captured one of the surviving aliens and was torturing him because he knew their species possessed creatures capable of producing unlimited pearls. Soon the commander also discovered that the tiny creature was now in Valerian's possession. When Valerian and Laura met him again, he demanded the creature so he could use it for his own benefit. However, the two soldiers had already begun to suspect the commander's true intentions, and since he had never fully explained the mission, they refused to hand over the creature. Shortly afterward, the commander attended an important meeting where representatives of many alien species from across the universe had gathered to discuss the mysterious red zone. As the discussion was underway, a massive explosion suddenly shook the entire station, injuring many of those present. The attack had been carried out by the very aliens whose planet had been destroyed by humans. The few survivors of that species had come to the station seeking revenge, and during the chaos, they kidnapped the commander and escaped with him. When Valerian finally regained consciousness after the blast, he quickly realized what had happened and immediately began chasing the aliens. However, they were incredibly fast, and none of the remaining soldiers could help because the aliens were heading straight into the Forbidden Red Zone, a place no one was allowed to enter. Despite the risk to his life, Valerian continued pursuing their spacecraft, determined to uncover the truth and rescue the commander. Realizing that someone had to help Valerian, Laura soon encounters a strange woman who is not human at all, but an alien shapeshifter capable of transforming into anyone. The mysterious being finally reveals her true form, a blue-skinned alien, and agrees to help. She slips inside a creature's body and transforms into the same species that had kidnapped Laura earlier, allowing them to secretly enter the location where Laura had been taken. When Valerian arrives there, he notices many bizarre creatures preparing food for some unknown purpose. Meanwhile, Laura is shown standing in front of a gigantic monster that is about to devour her for dinner. Just as the creature is about to eat her, the shape-shifting alien, disguised as one of the kidnappers, suddenly attacks the monster and kills it. The moment the creature dies, the entire area erupts in chaos as the surrounding creatures become furious and begin attacking everyone nearby. Valerian quickly grabs Laura and tries to escape, but the shape-shifting alien who helped them becomes badly injured during the fight. Despite risking her life to save them, the brave alien woman ultimately collapses and dies, leaving Valerian and Laura to continue alone. As the two move closer to the mysterious red zone, they encounter a strange energy field. When they pass through it, the same aliens who had kidnapped the commander appear in front of them, the survivors of the species whose planet had been destroyed. These aliens explain that they only want their small creature back, the one currently in Valerian and Laura's possession. After crossing the field, Valerian and Laura discover a hidden settlement where the remaining aliens have been living all along. There, the survivors finally reveal the truth about what happened hundreds of years earlier. At the time their planet was thriving, humans across the universe were fighting brutal wars among themselves in an attempt to become the most powerful civilization. During those battles, countless spacecraft were destroyed, and the massive debris from those battles began falling onto the aliens' peaceful world. The falling wreckage slowly destroyed their planet until a catastrophic explosion wiped almost everything out. A few aliens survived the disaster, and before dying their queen sent a telepathic message across the universe, which, centuries later, was finally received by Valerian. The survivors say that when they look at Valerian, they can sense a small trace of their queen's spirit within him, which convinces them that he is a good person. After their planet was destroyed, the surviving aliens repaired some of the crashed spacecraft and studied the alien technology left behind. Eventually, they learned how to operate the ships and use them to travel through space until they reached the massive space station. They secretly began living in its central region, the area now known as the Red Zone. The commander had always known the truth. Human wars were responsible for destroying the alien world. Out of guilt, he allowed the survivors to live there, but to keep the secret from everyone else, he officially declared the entire region a forbidden red zone where no one was allowed to enter. The surviving aliens simply wanted their special creature back, the one capable of producing countless pearls that had once sustained their civilization. When Valerian and Laura finally confront the commander, they now fully understand the truth behind his actions and the hidden history he had been trying to conceal. Soon, a large group of soldiers arrived at the location to protect the commander. The senior officials at headquarters still believed that the commander had been kidnapped and that his life was in danger. What they didn't know was that the commander himself was responsible for the destruction of the aliens' planet long ago. Valerian and Laura quickly contacted headquarters and revealed the entire truth about the commander's actions, but by then it was already too late. The commander's powerful robots had already reached the area, and since they followed only his commands, they began attacking everyone, both the aliens and the soldiers who had come to protect him. A massive battle erupted as Valerian and Laura fought side by side against the deadly machines. In the middle of the chaos, Valerian finally returned the tiny creature to the aliens, the same creature that had the power to restore their lost world. The aliens fed it a pearl, and immediately the creature began producing countless pearls from its body. Each pearl carried incredible energy, powerful enough to rebuild their destroyed planet. Slowly, the entire environment around them began transforming, and the barren land started reshaping itself into the beautiful world the aliens had once lost. Piece by piece, their planet was reborn before everyone's eyes. The commander was left completely stunned as the surviving aliens thanked Valerian and Laura for helping them restore their home. Grateful beyond words, the aliens blessed the two heroes, wishing that they would always stay together. In the end, Valerian and Laura returned to the massive space station, where they continued working side by side, growing closer and developing feelings for each other. And with that, the story comes to an end.